Gosh, that reminds me of a quote I saw: "Learn to pause, or nothing worthwhile will catch up to you," or something like that. And I'm like, oh man, of course I didn't want to hear that because I like to keep going and going. But it's true. And when you do, it's like you're giving yourself the time, like you said before, when we're not valuing ourselves, that's what keeps us reacting and right, feeling like I got to do more. I have to do this faster. I got to be better, right? People pleasing, or feeling
Yeah.
bad, or if somebody says something critical to us, or, you know, even the subtleties of nonverbal communication, someone's mannerisms, their expression, right? We can become so sensitive to every little thing in our environment if it's not healthy, and we react off of it until we get to that place where I'm like, no, I'm worth this. I'm worth more than
Right.
this. I'm going to give
Yeah.
myself the time to think and process through this instead of making a rash decision that's going to keep telling other people around me that I don't value myself ultimately, and
Yeah.
that I'll keep doing whatever to survive in this.
Yeah.
It's more
That
of a toxic.
That was my last job, where I was so afraid of failing and letting my team down and letting the company down that I would just work, like nonstop, like killing myself. And then at the end of the day, it was like, man, nobody, and the other side of it is nobody appreciated it. Like if I go like 30 hours straight working on a problem, they would come back to me and they'd be like, well, why didn't it work the first time? Like, why did it take you so long? Like, what'd you do wrong? Like,
oh my gosh.
I just spent 30 hours fixing your problem. Really? And that's when I got to the point of saying, you know what? When there's no appreciation, when you're taken for granted that much, that's when you have to say, yeah, you know what? If that's how you view me, then you don't need me. You need somebody else. I'm way beyond that. I'm better than that. So that's what happened. I got to that point at work where I was just like, if that's really what you think about me, then you know what? I'm not your guy. I'm not your doormat. So I'll see you later.
Amen. That's right.
Yeah.
And it, depending on where we're at in life, it's like we may have had to have that happen multiple times or in different ways, right? Whether it's personal or work relationships, because if you're believing that lie, like you said, I'm not, maybe I didn't do this right, or maybe, as long as we're believing that lie, it will keep you in that cycle in different ways, whether overt or more covertly. So it's like harder to catch on to. But like you said, once you figure it out, you're like, wait a second. There's no stopping you moving forward after that.
Yeah. And when you have that belief system, when you truly believe that you can accomplish something, you will accomplish it. It may not be an immediate result, but you're going to accomplish it because you believe in yourself, and you're going to move yourself in that direction and not give up. I gave up all the time. I mean, I just did. I just would be like, yeah, I can't do this. And when I was had so little confidence in myself, I was just like, I would give up. And now it's like, oh no, I'm not giving up. You know what? I'm going to make this work. I'm going to figure this out. When people don't do what they're supposed to do for you, and you need to step up and keep going, you just keep going.
Yeah.
For years, I would go, if somebody gave up on me, I would just be, see, that's who I am. People are giving up on me. And now it's like, screw you. I'm going. I'm going to prove you wrong.
There you go, right there. It becomes competitive with yourself instead of other people, which I love. I'm the same way. I love, like, it's like almost competing, with myself or.
Yeah. I'm going to prove you wrong and do better and show you how to be better. Show you what it really takes to succeed. I'm seeing it in my kids, which is really kind of cool, right? I'm seeing how my older son has overcome so much at his job with just like really people that understand what he's trying to accomplish. And now they're embracing what he wanted to do all along. And they're going, we should have done this before. And he's like, yeah, I'm kidding. But he never gave up on himself. He always believed that what he was doing was the right thing. And he was so committed to it. And now they're going, oh my God, keep going. You're doing, and he's moving up He's moving up the ranks, and he never doubted himself, which is like a really cool thing. He never ever said, you know what, maybe you're right. And now he always said, I'm right. It's important that you guys kind of get on the bandwagon and go with me. And they never did. And now they're going 6 years later. I'm like, we should have been doing this before. He's like, yeah, no kidding. But that's a cool thing. And I think other people see that. Other people in the family see that. And they're like, yeah, he's pretty cool. You know, he's doing good. So
it definitely spills onto your kids.
It's that internal thing. It really is that internal thing. And it's just showing people that you're not giving up, right? That you're just going to keep fighting. You're just going to keep going, and you're going to learn. And here we are, just doing like really cool stuff. So
it's true. It's like, and if you need to shed some people, places, things, dynamics, whatever vibes along the way, then we need to shed it. Just like, you know, like you're pruning, you're gardening, you're shedding skin, whatever is being shed. It just has to happen, and just so be it.
Yeah.
If you really love and value yourself and believe in what you're doing, like you said, then it's fine if people want to, you know, give up being on the bandwagon or whatever, because it's not as hurt. I mean, it could still hurt and stuff, or surprise us, disappoint us, but I don't feel like it's traumatizing like it was before, like the end of the world, right? Like before, if somebody was threatening to break up with us, or a boss at work was being a jerk face. That's what I usually say. When
you have that internal validation and you don't require that external validation anymore, that's the game changer right there. And for so long, I craved that external validation because I didn't have it internally, right? So where do you look for it? You look for it externally. And sometimes the wrong people are giving you that external validation, and they're taking you down the wrong path. And then you went, and at some point, the light kind of goes on and you go, but it takes a long time. And for me, it was like a lot of bad people along, but I just craved that external validation because I just didn't believe in myself. And now it's like, I don't need you. Today, it's like, if we aren't on the same page, and we don't have the same values, and we aren't trying to accomplish the same things, thank you. And that's okay.
It's not meant to be. And I feel like I totally embrace that more now, just learning over the past few years and going through so many challenges. It's like it's had to get more extreme in my life for me to really get it, I guess, since I've been more extreme personality, because life has had to do that to me. It's like I really get it. And I think when you care so much too, besides before not being like, you know, internally validated or whatever, used to toxicity in our environment, you know, in our relationships, it's just one of those things that I'm like, the mind-body connection to and staying aligned. It's, this is a big part of it. Like you were saying, I think.
Yeah, the alignment's really important. It's huge.
And I was going to ask you, it's hard. Like, what got you more on these routines? Was it just coming, like learning over the years after you started journaling and taking more time for yourself, and just gradually being like, I have to create a routine so I can feel more balanced? And
I think the routine came out of responsibility. Right? Because when I wasn't responsible, when I didn't take responsibility for what I was doing, then I would always come up with an excuse why I didn't need to do it. When I started getting more intentional about what I needed to do, and I got more consistent in doing it, and then the number one thing for me, Crystal, is discipline, right? So going to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning in February when it's degrees outside, the last thing I want to do is get out of bed and go on that cold. But I also know for me, the first time I don't do that, then tomorrow I'm going to make another excuse why I don't need to do that. And then Tuesday, and it's the snowball. So for me, it's like, all right, I need to stay consistent and I need to stay disciplined and I need to stay intentional. And this is why I'm doing it. And it's led me down this huge path. And so the routine for me is more about is ownership of what I'm doing. And so being consistent in doing it and being disciplined in it has really taught me. So it's crazy, 64 years old, and I'm finally starting to learn to be responsible for myself, which is, but it is what it is. And I don't look back and I don't think about it, but my routine is the key to it, right? As long as I stay intentional in my routine and I don't break my routine and I don't try to justify not doing something, I'm in a much better place. Maybe that's an extreme, but it's right now what I need to do.
Yeah.
And it hasn't let me down yet. It's kept me better. And for so long, I think one of the other things that I really battled was procrastination. I was like, you look up procrastination in the dictionary and it's like my picture, like literally like,
Stop.
I almost got fired from jobs because they would say, where's your project plan? I'm like, I'll get to it. Don't worry about it. I would always get the job done, but I would never have that plan that they wanted because I was such a procrastinator. I'd wait till the 11th hour and then I'd stress myself out so bad because I was like, oh my God, you had all this time. You waited to the very last minute. And now that's all that undue stress.
Oh yeah. So many of us.
Yeah.
Have had that issue.
I had to teach myself to not procrastinate. I had to force myself to say baby steps, but that's what it came down to, right? Because I was always thinking that there was a starting point and there was an ending point. There was really nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
And so here's your project. Here's when it's due. And I would go, okay, I got it. All right. Now it's those incremental things. Just write something down. And it's starting. For me, it was like, just start. And it's like journaling. Just start writing. And once you start and you get into that routine and you break things down, my procrastination is 85% less than it used to be. I'm still procrastinating. There's still things I absolutely procrastinate because I just don't want to do, but
sure,
it doesn't consume me anymore like it used to.
I was going to say, once I learned a little bit more about procrastination, because of course I just beat myself up when I have struggled with it more. And I continue to, like you said, it just depends on what it is, but it's all based in in the emotional challenge and issues, and like whether it's a trauma, something we're suppressing in there, like it can become a little complex. It's all emotionally based. And once we understand, like, it's not our fault, it's not a bad behavior, it's not something like if you try to make yourself, I gotta do, then it almost for a lot of people has the adverse effect. But once you understand, like, this is happening because you've had so much emotional trauma and like upheaval, of course you're because it's like almost like the perfectionism that comes, like if you have a pending deadline, you probably care so much, you want to do a great job. And, if you start overthinking about it or go, you just stop, procrastinate, because it's like the anxiety and you want to, it's like self-sabotage. We do it. It's a subconscious thing.
Self-sabotage, 1,000%. Without a doubt, self-sabotage.
But like you said, if we just start, even if we don't get to where we need to be, it's better than procrastinating and going down that road, because at least whether it's just brainstorming ideas, I know